how do you do that in a way that's as kind as you want to be, that's as centered as you want to be, that's in your own integrity, and that you can stick to even when inevitably pushback comes, because it will.
And what I love so much about your work is that it brings in the neuroscience. It explains why we do what we do, so that there's not a heaping pile of shame on top of like, oh my
That's
God,
right.
how did I react that way?
I'm hoping that we can take the blame out and the
Yes.
shame out and the contempt out.
For some of us, depending on our personal histories, there's that feeling of having to choose somebody else or yourself.
Yes.
And that was true for some of us when we were younger.
Oh,
But as
very true.
adults, no
Like you were
longer.
not, yeah, but can we even slow down and just name that?
Yeah.
You were not nutty. You saw that accurately. That when you were a little one, you grew up in a world where you either had to choose them or you. That actually is real for lots of people, and you can trust your own inner experience about the truth of what you experienced. And I think that a lot of times we don't slow down enough to acknowledge that, you know?
Thank you for slowing that down, Jules.
And if that's how you grew up, notice this. If you set boundaries, and I'm putting that in quotes because I mean so many different things when I say that, but let's say I go out there, I'm gonna be brave and speak my truth. What's happening is you're actually going against everything your implicit memory system learned about what safety is and what
And
staying in relationship is.
yes.
Yuck.
Yuck
So,
indeed.
so to learn to set boundaries is not so simple. For folks who have a more complex history with boundaries, it's not so simple as, well, just give me a map of what to say. I just need an example of what to say. And those are great.
They are great.
There are wonderful examples of what to say. But for a lot of us, having just that is actually not enough, because we're fighting against everything we learned about how to survive in this planet.
The other thing that you just said, which we don't realize it's memory. And then what you teach, and I imagine is in this book, is, and here's what you can do about that.
And here's what you can
here's
do
how
about
you can
that.
retrain your brain, because since you learned it in the first
Exactly.
place, even though you don't see that you learned it, you can unlearn it and rewire with intention.